Here again, we're having a look at vehicles on opposite sides of the intersection and both turning within the intersection. Unlike the previous video, where we had each driver turning and facing each other, crossing paths within the intersection, in this video, we're having a look at drivers turning in the same direction. In the first animation, we'll see that the driver of the red vehicle, after having turned through the intersection, crosses over the lane into the path of the green driver, having come through the intersection, and collides with it. So we've got to be cautious after having negotiated the intersection, not assuming that drivers will stick to their lane. It could very easily be the case that they just cross over without taking note of any oncoming vehicles. And this is what's depicted in this first real-life clip. And what I want to do as we go through the clip is just stop it at various intervals, because I want you to take note of the driver of this vehicle. Have a look at her as we stop the video to see if at any one point she actually glances to her left to see if there are oncoming vehicles. Stop it at this point and you can see that she's looking slightly to her right, hasn't glanced over to the left to see the oncoming camera. Still not looking into her left. Still no idea of any traffic to the left of her, totally oblivious, and crosses over the lane, not even aware that there was the presence of a vehicle. Fortunately, the camera held back a bit, and so this is one of the tips in negotiating the lanes after an intersection. If you see any vehicles crossing through the intersection, as we've seen over here, then make sure that you're not adjacent to the vehicles for this very reason. Make sure that you're either slightly ahead, but it's better rather to be a bit behind the driver, because you can more easily control the situation. In the second animation, we have something similar, excepting that the driver on the near end is the one who gets violated by the driver on the far end crossing through the intersection and once again over the lane. So same applies as in the previous animation and real life clip. Be careful of any drivers turning in the same direction that won't stick to their lane. Don't just assume drivers will stick to their lane. So some similar sort of thing that we see over here. In a real life clip, we'll see that driver coming from the left side here collides with the driver that's coming around the corner on the near end. And if you're on the near end, it's more likely that driver coming from the far end will cross over the lane due to the higher speed that this vehicle would now enter the intersection. Whereas the driver on the near side won't be entering the lanes at a speed that is as high as the vehicle coming from the far end. Obviously, coming from the far end, the vehicle has to travel further and quicker to make it through the intersection, whereas the vehicle on the near end has just got a shorter distance to travel. So in this scenario, it's more likely, just to repeat the point, that the driver coming from the far end will cross over the lane. So there you could see the pickup truck traveling a lot quicker than this vehicle creeping around the corner, and there they collide. Now what I want to point out here is that there are three lanes. There's the left lane, middle lane, and right-hand lane. When you're coming through an intersection, make sure that you stick to your lane. It could be that these two lanes belong to two lanes that are turning through the intersection, and that there should be road markings to indicate that. So if there are the road markings, stick to the road markings, which will ensure that you exit the intersection in the correct lane. If there are no road markings, then rather, if you're coming from the far side, make sure you stick to the left lane. And if you're coming from the near side, you stick to the right lane. Don't go for the middle lane just in case the driver on the opposite side also chooses the middle lane. So you're safer if you stick to the lane on the side that you're entering or exiting the intersection from. In this case, they both chose the middle lane, they collided with each other, but had they stuck to their own lanes on either side, this could have been avoided. So there's a tip just to bear in mind. Please like, subscribe, and get notified.